But guys, what is up? And in today's video, we'll be showing you guys what you guys can do to help you get better at COD for the new BO6 Omni movement that's coming to BO6 and Warzone a little while after. So we're gonna start off by getting some of the basics down, like diving and sliding, and like how you can integrate, like, you know, like how you can get the feel of BO6 movement by sliding and diving, kinda. So we're gonna start off by showing the sliding motion. This is pretty obvious. It's whatever your sliding button is. And one thing that I usually do is, if you have 4 paddles, just use default and use one of your back paddles as your sliding button. But if you're not on 4 paddles and you have like only 2 like me, what I do is I put my 2 back paddles to swap. Since I'm on like Xbox, it's Y and X for my back pedals. And then my jump and slide buttons, my jump button is pressing down on the left joystick, which is your movement joystick, and then sliding or crouching is my right joystick. So that way I can, you know, do this in the air, drop shot really easily. And then another thing, so you gotta, you know, get the basics, get the layout. Bumper jumper tactical, if you don't have it, it's also preferable. But for me, since when I was playing with no back paddles, I just used, you know, the joysticks as my buttons and then took my fingers off the joystick, which, yeah, didn't help. But if you have 2 back paddles, like I said, you can try it. But if you have 4, it's completely up to you because you can make it work. Alright guys, so we're going to get into sliding motion here on controller. I will also cover keyboard and mouse if you want to use it. So we're going to start off by sliding. So what you're going to do is press your sliding button and just slide around the corners and try to, you know, kind of integrate what the feel of BO6 movement will be like. So you slide and kind of just keep yourself in the sliding motion while looking to the side while sliding. So if you had dummies, you could do that kind of if you wanted to, and just do that. And then another thing, yeah. And then one huge thing that not many people know, there's people in the Discord. This is very popular Discord. You know, I'm sure you guys know T Captain X, a very popular YouTuber. Make sure you go. Some of his members didn't. I think one of his moderators do, but I doubt it because his moderators very high KD, very high skilled players. But I think one of the people I was in a Discord call, they didn't know how to slide dive behavior like this. And if you're wondering how to do that every time, instead of having that weird thing where like you're trying to slide, it crouches you, you get up and then you dive like that, what you can do is put it on hybrid. And then I realized that you have to hold down your sprint button. So you're gonna hold your sprint button and then press the your sliding button while sprinting. So you're gonna press your sliding button while holding down the sprint button. So with no sprint button, you just without holding the sprint button, without any touching the sprint button, you slide. But when you're not holding the sprint button at all, no, when you are holding the sprint button and then you press slide, you dive. And that would be nice if you're trying to teach yourself the movement. Obviously you can't shoot, but obviously, like I said, you can't shoot, but you can learn on how to center your crosshairs and all that stuff. I personally have to play claw when I do it, when I dive, but it's okay, because playing claw for like 2 seconds isn't that big of a deal, as you can see. Sliding around corners. So we got this sliding motion, which you all should know, and then we also got the diving motion. And definitely, if you want to, you can go from heights and, you know, practice diving. You could practice sliding from heights, I guess, if you wanted to. But yeah, so this is really supposed to just help you. So yes, definitely go around, sliding through corner, kind of like just sliding through doors. Like, let's say there's someone right here. You slide through the door with already crosshairs and aimed and like in a motion, you know, of how it would look in BO6 kind of. So we're just gonna slide before we enter the door. So slide right before we enter the door, and do not press your jump button. I don't think I have slide maintain sprint on, which you want to put on. So like I said, like that, you can get them. And then same thing for diving, especially when the game comes out, you can shoot midair. What you want to do is you want to do dive motion by having your crosshairs in. Now diving does kind of give you a disadvantage because you can get shot real easily, but it does help. So just practice diving and aiming your crosshair like right here. So put a ping where you want to aim, like that kind of, and then just go around and practicing like that. So yeah, that's that. I can't tell you much more about it. Just if you want to have the certain, and I'll show you my settings, all up to you guys, but these are the settings that I personally use. So if we go to controller, edit button layout. So for my jumping and mantle, it's pressing down the left stick. This just makes it so, like, especially if you have no paddles, it just makes it so you can, you know, slide, jump, you can like jump and shoot at the same time, like what people do, kind of like bunny hopping, except it's not in the game. And then same thing for sliding and diving. Maybe I have it as right stick, just so that way I don't have to take my fingers off the joystick. It just makes it a lot easier for me to move. Interactive reload is a paddle for me, so I just press a paddle, and then same thing for swap and armor plate, same thing, a paddle. And for me, I personally got triggers that, you know, kind of stop. It's not a full pull, so I use the fire weapon, I use the RT and LT, but trust me, if you don't have that, and like also, I would switch your trigger, your fire weapon ADS thing to RB and LB, just because that will give you a traumatic distance when it comes to like shooting a pistol or something. And slide button, so my sprint button is A. So what I do is I hold A, as you see, I press and hold A, and then I press the right stick while still holding A to dive. That's very important when it comes to sliding and diving. You press and hold your sprint button, you hold your sprint button, and then press your sliding/diving button while holding your sprint button down. Alright guys, on keyboard and mouse, it's kind of works a little different. So same thing, you really just want to practice your sliding, coming in and out of corners. But the thing about keyboard and mouse is if you press forward, you kind of go forward, like you still gotta look. So it's kind of like this. So you're gonna go boom, 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 boom. Practice. Remember to put a ping down, like right there, right there. And then remember, just practice shooting at that angle. And then for me, there is a dedicated dive button for mouse and key. So what you want to do is dive there, just like that, as you'll see me doing. So yeah, just practice your sliding and diving. Make sure you understand each control, and know there is, for me at least, there's a little delay when it comes to pressing my sliding button. My diving button, there's no delay, but for my sliding button there is. But that's totally okay. So yeah, just practice that, and then I'll show you my settings in a second. Alright guys, if you want to know my keybinds, these are obviously the basics, WAZ for moving, my jump/mantle is space, obviously, my prone/dive, so like I said, there is a dedicated dive button, is Z, so I just press Z and I dive, like I did while showing you the example, and then, you know, and then we also got the chain stand/slide dive. I don't know what that is, I don't use it, but I do use C, so I think this means if you press Control and C, this will dive you. But I will say, just it would be a lot easier if you have a dedicated button for that. Interacting, F, open door, shoot, spacebar, you know, obviously that. Same. Otherwise, all my settings are mostly normal. The settings you get. Obviously, why you need them. Otherwise, yeah, so I'm just saying the most important settings for practicing would be having the C or this, which there is a little bit of a delay, at least on my end, so could be my problem. And then prone/dive, I would make it a dedicated button just because it makes it easier, so put Z as that button. Alright guys, if you guys don't have MW3, like I have MW3, then just go into like Plunder and practice, sliding and diving and proning, because it doesn't really hurt your KD and all, because it's a separate KD and who cares, right? So yeah, just do that, and then hopefully you guys give me some of your feedback on what you think about, if you think you can improve or you did improve in terms of when the beta comes out next week. Yeah, I'd be curious to know. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe. Also join the Discord in the description. We are revamping it as I speak. It might be done by now actually, but yeah. Hopefully this video found you helpful, and Volcano out.